Your day moves fast. Your news should too. That's why there's a new and improved Wish TV app bringing you more local news, breaking alerts, live streaming, weather forecasts, radar, and Indiana sports all in one place. Customize your news feed to see the stories that matter most to you and get the information you need when you need it. Download the new and improved Wish TV app today on iOS or Android and take News 8 with you everywhere.
From the All Indiana Podcast Network,
This is AC's Conversations.
AC's Conversations is about sports, music, TV, movies, and more.
Everything and more.
Everything is ready to go.
That include the latest news and rumors, along with interviews with the biggest names in sports and entertainment.
This
Is AC's Conversations with your host,
News 8 Sports Director
The man is the real deal.
Let's go to work, brother.
Anthony Calhoun.
It is so fantastic. It's well-deserved. He didn't make it last year. I was very disappointed. But all good things come if you wait and you're patient and wait on the Lord. And Adam is the best clutch kicker in the history of football. No question he should be in the Hall of Fame.
You know, speaking of Vinatieri, he's one guy who knows what it takes to win a Super Bowl. And coming up on Sunday, we got a great matchup here.
Two new regimes coming in. And Seattle, I think, surprised everyone this year. New England got off to a slow start and then got hot. But what you have is two teams that believe in each other and they think they're going to win.
Well, let's talk a little bit about these two teams here. Number one, let's talk about the Patriots. And we had talked about earlier here on Wish TV how you had mentioned to me that you got invited to speak to the Patriots. What? A Colt helping out a Patriot? What's that all about? But I know you had a chance to come in and spend some time with them. Coach Vrabel invited you in. Number one, what was that like for you to do that? And number two, did you see this team was going to be successful after talking to them?
I have to say it was a little weird going into the Patriots complex and talking to their players, but I was well received, and you could see the excitement, the energy, and the fact that they were buying into what Coach Vrabel wanted to do. And I thought it might take 2 years, but they did it. They accelerated it and got here, and it's been awesome to watch them.
Yeah, it has. It's amazing to see what he has been able to do there with the Patriots. After Coach Dungy spoke to the team, by the way, folks, they went on a 9-game winning streak. I know Shane Steichen's probably saying to himself, Coach, where were you to help me out with my
Just
team?
asked me to come in.
That's right. But to be fair now, full transparency, you also had a chance to spend some time with the Seahawks as well, and that was during the preseason there. Did you see that team making its way to the Super Bowl this year?
You know, I really did. Leslie Frazier, who was on our staff, our Super Bowl staff in Indy, is the assistant head coach there. He invited me to training camp, and I watched them, and they had the same energy and the same focus. Second-year head coach in Mike McDonald, but you could see the belief and just how those guys hustled and how they came together. And I thought at that time in July, boy, there's something special cooking here.
Yeah, and you know, when you look at both of these teams, we got two quarterbacks that a lot of folks are like saying, who? Right? Because we've been so accustomed to so many big names as the quarterbacks coming into these Super Bowl matchups here. But let's start first here with the Patriots. I got the young guys, year 2 in the NFL, and Drake May. But I felt like when I watched him last year, Coach, I could see the potential. You could just see that he had the it factor. Not necessarily saying we thought he'd be in the Super Bowl year 2, but what has impressed you about what you've seen from him?
Well, he's a great athlete. He's accurate. He's smart, and he's a hard worker, and he has been blessed. Josh McDaniels, their quarterback coach, is a guru, and he has helped Drake come on and really doing the things that he does well.
And on the other side, we got Sam Darnold, to a guy who's been around the league for some time, a guy who's had ups and downs, and now he's getting the last laugh. There's a good potential, the really last laugh, if he can win on Sunday here.
I'm excited for Sam because, as you say, he's taken the lumps, he's taken the knocks for a number of years, but he's persevered, he's hung in there, he hasn't blamed anybody for any of his setbacks, and he's gotten in a situation where, again, his team believes in him and they support him, and he's leading this team so well, and I personally, I'm rooting for him because he has had the adversity.
Yeah, he has. And, you know, speaking of, just as far as a guy who knows a little bit about the Super Bowl, this guy right here, 1-1 as a football player, also 1-1 as a head coach, obviously, with your Indianapolis Colts. And so I'll ask you this. What advice would you give, you know, your players? We think about the game against Chicago when you guys won that down in Miami. But as a head coach, what advice are you telling your team? Because you hear about all the distraction, things like that. But what is the focus going into game day?
I actually spoke to Coach McDonald. He asked me that very question, and I said, you have to keep things normal. It's hard to do because it's abnormal. You're there for a whole week. You've got press conferences for not just the head coach, but for the whole team. You've got family in. You've got all these things, and you've got the biggest game of your life. But you have to keep it normal, stay on the same routine, do the same things you always do. One of the big keys for us, Peyton Manning suggested, we had the families down, but he said Saturday night we should go back to our roommates and do what we've done all year. Guys weren't excited about it, but then as they thought about it, let's keep the routine. Let's do that. So the more you can keep it normal, the better off you're going to be.
Discover more at wishtv.com and when you follow Wish TV on Facebook. Plus, be sure to follow and subscribe to the AC's Conversations podcast and others on the All Indiana Podcast Network. Connect now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.